Hello, welcome back to the James Ramble Reviews for yet another episode. In today's episode, I am bringing you a review that you probably did not expect, because this is another review where I'm just going to go straight into it, not really announce that I watched a movie and put it on my community tab, post this and that and the next thing. Just go and review a movie if I think it's worth reviewing, or I have an interesting way to say things and stuff like that. So it's like that. But we're reviewing Anora. And for a bit of context here, I was actually thinking about seeing this movie in the cinema, but push came to shove. Things didn't go my way because it was a Sunday night 7 p.m. showing, and I could not be asked going to see a movie at 7 p.m. on a Sunday night, you know what I mean? And also the seatings were absolutely booked to the fullest, because it was like I could look at it as though there's so many seats, and there's only so many seats I could choose there. So I ended up renting this movie for about £3 on YouTube Movies and stuff like that last night, and so there's definitely all of that. And so that is kind of my context going into this. I was thinking of booking this movie, going to see it in the cinema, but then seeing that it was on a really, really cheap price on streaming really hooked me in, and also just heard that this movie was actually good, and it was a surprising little movie that came out of 2024, which I only just caught last night. So there's all of that. So what is this movie all about? Without getting into spoilers, and obviously I'll do a rating out of 10 and stuff like that, you know that already. So what this movie is about is it's trying to kind of be the Cinderella story, where this woman is trying to win over this guy, but it doesn't really go the way that you want to or expect, and that's the best way to describe the film. And so there's definitely that. I'm not going to spoil everything, obviously. So how did I actually feel about this 2 hour and 19 minute movie Anora? So I'm going to be honest into saying that I actually really did enjoy this movie. However, the first 48 to an hour of the 48 minutes to about an hour into this movie, it is rough around the edges, I'm going to be honest with you, because it's literally just the main actress, dancing on a pole and having having intercourse with these characters. So it does take a while to find the style it's trying to present. So I wasn't really a big fan of that. But once it starts to actually tell a story and tell a coherent piece of narrative, that's when I was interested by what was going on. And sure, yeah, this movie does not have a groundbreaking plot. You exactly know what you're getting yourself into here. But once it starts at that point where it stops having all these sex scenes and it just cuts to tons and tons of really funny scenes. Like, I remember quite a lot, right, how this movie transforms itself into these sex scenes and right into really funny moments, and the dialogue, the characters and all that, it gets really funny. And it's also supported by the fact that Mickey Madison's performance is pretty good in this movie, because the way she speaks and the way she words things makes it all seem really funny, whether that's her swearing at these crazy Russians, whether that's her shouting at her boyfriend, and well, you'll find out in the movie if it's actually a boyfriend. It's a little bit more than that, but yeah, you get all of that, where you get to see how she does become, absolutely invested in her performance here, and that was great to see. And I didn't feel like the movie was that long. It's 2 hours and 19 minutes, but it's not as dreadful as, the ending of The Substance. It's a lot better than that, so there's definitely all of this to be considered. And the soundtrack, if you want to even consider that here, it is enjoyable, I guess. I mean, I thought the soundtrack was okay, because some of it was just kind of like Russian rap or something like that, and then this one theme that played occasionally throughout the movie. So the soundtrack was okay, but the acting was brilliant, the comedy was brilliant, but it could have just been paced a little bit better. So for that reason alone, the more time that it has sat with me over the past day, I would probably give Anora probably a 9 out of 10 for how it surprised me so much, and the performance of Mickey Madison was quite good. So yeah, that's where I'm going to leave this review, and hope you enjoyed this kind of different review on a movie like this. So yeah, by Anora, Anora, Anora. I decided to not ignore this movie.